Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here with Malik, curators of the Conflict Archive. We left First Punic War last time at Meanwhile, Carthage strikes back at sea. Today we pick up where we left off. Dawn breaks over Messana in 264 BCE. Roman legions, for the first time, step onto Sicilian soil. Their arrival is quiet, but the city trembles. The rules have changed. The thunder of war is about to roll across the island. Rome's soldiers, led by Appius Claudius Caudex, march into Messana, armor cold and eyes wide. They are filled with fear, but also with the thrill of the unknown.
But let's not romanticize their arrival, Aurelius. The people of Messana see something different. They feel the weight of impending violence. The long-simmering tension between Rome and Carthage isn't just politics. It's about survival. Every shadow hides danger. Every alliance is precarious. The stakes have risen dramatically, and fear grips the hearts of the citizens.
Once the violence erupts, it is sudden and brutal. Bronze shields clash, javelins fly, and screams fill the air. The Carthaginian defenders glare from their citadel, ready for the first mistake. But these Romans are not just soldiers. They are men caught in a storm. Every alley becomes a battleground, and the city turns into a maze of fear and barricades.
Aurelius, you paint a vivid picture, but let's be clear. The Romans were not prepared for urban warfare. They were trained for open battlefields, not the terror of narrow streets. Bodies pile up, and civilians huddle in cellars, clutching their children. This is the human cost of war that often gets lost in grand narratives. For them, every home is a fortress, and every street is a trap.
As the siege of Messana continues, Carthage moves quickly to reinforce its position. The city becomes a fortress, with barricades springing up overnight. Roman soldiers, once confident, now find themselves trapped. The chaos of war creates an environment where terror reigns. Hunger gnaws at both soldier and civilian, turning allies into enemies and friends into foes.
That's the crux of it, Aurelius. While you focus on the chaos, don't forget the human aspect. Families are torn apart. Homes are shattered, and the landscape is littered with suffering. Those who manage to survive are forever changed. You can see it in their hollow faces and weakened bodies. They carry stories of loss and pain that words can't fully capture. This isn't just a battle. It's a tragedy unfolding right in front of us.
Yet despite the odds, Rome does not break. They manage to lift the siege, a feat that seems almost miraculous. The survivors emerge from the rubble, but the cost is staggering. The countryside is a graveyard of ruined homes and broken families. The Romans may celebrate their survival, but they do so at a terrible price.
And what about the aftermath, Aurelius? The Roman legions may have broken the siege, but they did not emerge unscathed. Disease stalks the streets of Agrigentum, and the air reeks of rot as refugees flood the city. This is a war that consumes lives, not just on the battlefield, but in every home. The true cost of conquest is paid in suffering.
The war spreads further, as we see time and again. Emboldened by their small victories, Roman legions march south, eager for glory. They confront the Syracusan phalanx at the river Loganus. Spears crash against shields, and the ground becomes a gruesome canvas of blood and mud. Rome holds the line, but Syracuse, once a formidable ally, buckles under the pressure. It's a stark reminder of how alliances can shift, and the relentless march of power often leaves ruins in its wake.
But let's not forget the implications of Syracuse's surrender. Heroes becomes a powerful ally for Rome, but at what cost? Carthaginian garrisons across Sicily find themselves isolated and surrounded. This shift changes the dynamics of the war, but it also deepens the suffering for those caught in the middle. Each decision made by leaders echoes through the streets.
As winter rains flood the trenches, both sides brace for what comes next. Panic spreads across Italy as Carthaginian naval power strikes back. Coastal villages are raided, and Roman ships burn. The war is no longer confined to Sicily. It has morphed into a struggle for survival across the Mediterranean. The stakes are higher with every passing day.
Exactly, Aurelius. The war has escalated beyond a simple territorial conflict. It's about control of the Mediterranean, and the human cost is staggering. The soldiers, the civilians, everyone pays the price. What began as a local fight for Messana has transformed into a war for dominance. For them, tomorrow is just another day, filled with dread.
Indeed, Malik. The First Punic War has truly begun, and the horrors we witness are just the beginning. Soldiers wait in muddy trenches, eyes wide with the knowledge that the worst is yet to come. This is not merely a conflict. It is a forge of suffering that will reshape the ancient world. History will remember these days.
That's where we leave it this time. First Punic War continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Conflict Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.